determine the liability of underwriter or underwriters under different circumstances. Okay, now let us take up the first condition or situation, case number 1. When there is open and complete underwriting by only one underwriter. It's an open and a complete underwriting by only one underwriter. So this is the way how you calculate the liability of the underwriter. His gross liability, that is total number of shares of the shares or debentures offered by the company to the public for subscription. This is the amount. From that, deduct total applications received by the company from the public, whether received through underwriter or received directly. So if you deduct that, you will get the balance, and that is called as net liability, or we can also call as number of shares or debentures required to be underwritten or taken up by the underwriter. Okay, I'll repeat. His gross liability, this is the total number of shares or debentures offered by the company to the public for subscription. So this is his gross liability. From that, so total applications received by the company from the public, so that has to be deducted, and the remaining becomes the net liability of the underwriter. So there is an example. The Madras Motors Limited issued 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. The whole issue was underwritten by Murthy. Applications for 80,000 shares were received in all. Determine the liability of the underwriter. So we have to determine the liability. Now let us move on to discuss the solution of this problem. Okay, you have to prepare a table showing a statement showing the liability of the underwriter. So this is the format which we have already discussed there. So gross liability. So look at the problem. The gross liability, the total shares issued by the company is 1 lakh, and I have written that 1 lakh here. From that, you have to deduct the total applications received and credited to the underwriter. So total applications received by the company is 80,000. So applications for 80,000 shares were received in all, means both from underwriter and the public. So after deducting this 80,000, we get a balance of 20,000, and that becomes the net liability of the underwriter. Now let us move on to second case number 2. When there is open and complete underwriting by 2 or more underwriters. In the previous example, we had only one underwriter, but here there are 2 or more underwriters. So this is the format. The gross liability of each underwriter, like earlier, deduct credit given to each underwriter in respect of unmarked applications. The application which doesn't carry any seal of the underwriter are called as unmarked application. You have to deduct that, so that we get a balance, and from that you have to deduct the marked applications of each underwriter. After deducting the marked applications, we get a balance. So, and suppose if this balance is negative, suppose for any of one of the partners is negative, say for example A, B and C, these are the 3 underwriters, sorry, not partners, so 3 underwriters. When you calculate the liability of the partners by following this format, if one of the partner gets a negative balance after deducting the marked applications, so then that the minus or the surplus, we call them as surplus one. So that surplus has to be redistributed among the remaining underwriters in the proportion of their underwriting. So that is called as less credit given to each underwriter in respect of surplus accruing to any other underwriter or underwriters. So this is the format. So now let us discuss, let us understand this with an example. So this becomes a net example. ABC Limited issued 20,000 equity shares. The whole issue was underwritten as follows: Ram 50%, Rahim 30%, and Ralph 20%. Applications for 16,000 shares were received in all, out of which applications for 4,500 shares had stamp of Ram. Those rupees 3,000 shares that of Rahim, and those of 2,500 shares that of Ralph. Determine the liability of the underwriter. Look at here. Applications for 16,000 shares were received. In that, 4,500 shares applications for 4,500 shares consist have the stamp of Ram, Then 3000 applications have the stamp of Rahim, and 2500 shares have the stamp of Ralph. So it means that 4500 plus 3000 plus 2500. This is the total number of marked applications. So total number of marked applications is how much? 4500 plus 3000 plus 2500. So it is 10,000. Okay, now you deduct 10,000 from this total applications received. It is 16,000. So that what we get? 6,000. That balance of 6,000 are called as unmarked application. It's very important to first find out unmarked applications. So unmarked applications is equal to total applications received minus total marked applications. So now let us move on to solve the problem. Prepare the statement showing liability of each underwriters. Okay, now we have 3 underwriters here. Gross liability of each underwriter, shares of the first person, that is Ram 50%, Rahim 30%, Ralph 20%, total 100%. So the gross liability of each underwriter of Ram, it is 10,000, Rahim 6,000, Ralph 4,000. So total number of applications, shares issued is 20,000. Total number of shares issued by the company is 20,000. So this 20,000 has to be divided based on the proportion of underwriting by the underwriters. The total is 20,000, out of which 50% is underwritten by Ram, 30% is by Rahim, and 20% is by the last person, that is Ralph. Okay, 20,000, 50% of 20,000 is 10,000, 30% of 20,000 is 6,000, then last one is 20% of 20,000 is 4,000. Hope it is understood. From that, deduct credit given to each of the underwriters in respect of unmarked applications. We have already calculated, I have shown you the calculation of unmarked applications. 16,000 total applications received minus marked applications of 10,000 gives you 6,000 shares. So they are supposed to be distributed on the basis of proportion of underwriting, which is 50%, 30%, 20%. So 6,000 into 50%, 3,000, 6,000 into 30%, 1,800, 6,000 into 20%, 1,200. So that we get the balance of 7,000, 4,200, 2,800, and total is 14,000. Okay, so from that we have to deduct the marked application. So marked application of each underwriter as given in the problem. So 4,500, 3,000, 2,500. So total is 10,000. So that we get a balance. And since the none of the balance is negative, there are no surplus applications. So there is no surplus actually. So therefore we are going to treat these balances as net liability of each underwriter. Example, XYZ Limited Incorporated on 1st January 2019 issued a prospectus inviting applications for 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. The whole issue was fully underwritten by A, B, C. A rupees 10,000 shares, B 6,000 shares, and C 4,000 shares. Applications were received for 16,000 shares, of which marked applications were as follows: A 8,000, B 2,850 shares, and C 4,150 shares. You are required to find out the liability of the individual underwriters. Okay, so this is the problem. Here the total number of applications received are 16,000. Out of that, marked applications total is 15,000. 8,000 plus 2,850 plus 4,150. So total marked applications 15,000. So therefore, you can easily calculate the unmarked applications. What is the unmarked applications here? 16,000 total applications received minus marked applications of 15,000. So total unmarked applications 1,000. Now let us work out this problem. Solution: statement showing the liability of each underwriter. So there are three underwriters, A, B and C, and the last column is total. Gross liability of each underwriter of A 10,000, B 6,000 and C 4,000. Total gross liability of the underwriter 20,000. Then from this credit given to each underwriters in respect of unmarked applications. So there are 1,000 applications. They are supposed to be distributed in the ratio 10,000 is to 6,000 is to 4,000. So if you reduce it, 5 is to 3 is to 2. So if you reduce it to that, so if you divide this 1,000 in this their gross on the basis of their gross liability ratio, you'll get 500, 300 and 2,000, total 1,000. Okay, so that we get a balance 9,500, 5,700, 3,800 and 19,000. Okay, from that actually you have to deduct the market applications of each underwriter. So market applications of each underwriter is given in the problem. 8,000 of A, B it is 2,850 and C it is 4,150 and the total is 15,000. Now if you deduct this, you get the balance. Look at the balances here. So 1,500, 2,850 and in case of C it is minus 350 and the total becomes 4,000 only. Okay, so now this means there is a surplus in case of C, so that has to be redistributed or credited to these two people, A and B. Okay, now less credit given to A and B in respect of the surplus accruing to C. That is, the total surplus is 350. That has to be distributed between these two people at the ratio 10,000 is to 6,000, which is, if you reduce it, it becomes 5 is to 3, 10 is to 6. If you reduce it to the lower digit, so it becomes 5 is to 3. So that becomes 219, 131 and this becomes 350. That means this has to be added so that the balance becomes, look at here, 1,281, so 1,500 minus 219 and here 2,850 minus 131 and here it is 0 and the total balance will be same. That is, if you add these two, it becomes 4,000 only. That is the net liability of each underwriter. Next example is this. The Bangalore Battery Limited was formed with a capital of rupees 10,000 in rupees 10 shares. The amount being issued to the public. The underwriting of these shares was as follows: M 35,000, N 30,000, O 20,000, P 10,000, Q 3,000 and R 2,000. All the market application forms were to go in relief of the underwriters whose names they bear. The application forms marked by the underwriters were M 10,000, N 22,500, O 20,000, P 7,500 and Q 5,000 and R it is nil. The applications for 20,000 shares were received on forms not marked. That means they are the unmarked applications. Draw up the statement showing the number of shares each underwriter had to take up. Let us solve this problem. Okay, let us see the solution. Statement showing the liabilities of each of the underwriters. Okay, there are 6 underwriters: M, N, O, P, Q and R. Cross liability of each underwriters as it is given in the problem. M it is 35,000, N 30,000, O 20,000, P 10,000, Q 3,000 and R it is 2,000. Okay, now so we have to deduct the credit given to each underwriters in respect of unmarked applications. So as it is given in the problem, applications for 20,000 shares were received on forms not marked. In the sense, they are the unmarked applications. 20,000 shares are supposed to be divided in the ratio 35 is to 30 is to 20 is to 10 is to 3 is to 2. So each partner, see, M getting 7,000, N 6,000, O 4,000, P 2,000, Q 600 and R 400. Okay, after deducting this, we get the balance like this. So balance 28,000, N 24,000, O 16,000, P 8,000, Q 2,400, R 1,600. Okay, now from this we have to deduct the marked applications of each of the underwriters. So it is clearly given in the problem. So look at the problem. M it is 10,000, N it is 22,500, O 20,000, P 7,500, Q 5,000 and in case of R as given in the problem it is nil. Okay, after deducting this we get a balance For M it is 18,000, N it is 1,500. O, see, look at here, market applications are more than the credit given in the balance gross liability, so therefore there is a surplus 4,000. So here it is 500, and again in case of Q there is a surplus of 2,600 because market applications are more than the gross liability, and in case of R it is 1,600. Okay, now the surplus of these two people like O and Q are supposed to be redistributed between M, N, then P and R in their respective ratio. 35 is to 30 is to 10 is to 2. Okay, now let us do that. So look at here, 35 is to 30 is to 20 is to 10 is to 35 is to 30 is to 10 is to 2. So it is 3,000, 2,571, and in this case, yeah, this is already distributed, so here it is plus 4,000 and 857. So here it is 2,600, this is already used for redistribution, so here it becomes plus, so 172. So that the balance is 15,000, 18,000 minus 3,000, 1,500 minus 2,750, you get a surplus of 1,071. In case of N, plus 4,000 plus 4,000, it is 0. So here 500 minus 857, so you get a surplus of 357 minus 357. So here minus 2,600 plus 2,600, here it is nil, and here it is 1,600 minus 172. So these two underwriters are getting surplus, and again these two balances are supposed to be redistributed between M and R in the ratio 35 is to 2. Okay, now let us do that. So it is deducted here, so 1,351 to M, and here it is plus 1,071, and here it is plus 357, and here it is 77. Okay, therefore the balance, so here it is 13,649, and here it is nil, here it is nil, here it is nil, and here also it is nil. Finally for R it is 1,351. So this is the way how the liability is being distributed. Okay, so thank you.